Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm coming on live to do the Friday video teaching that I do every Friday here on my channel. So if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos and you don't yet know who I am, my name is Stef. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach. What I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs to help them to do the very deep levels of healing that they need to do in order to align themselves with their souls. And as a result of this greater soul alignment, they're then able to have their highest level of impact, influence, and income. So that is how I help people. Every Friday, I come on here onto my YouTube channel to do a Friday teaching at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, except today I'm a little bit late because this week the energy has been influencing me and I'm getting around to things a little bit later. But I'm here, which is the most important thing. So today's topic that I was asked to speak on today is on how self-belief has the power to make your dreams come true. Now, this is going to be super relevant to anyone that considers himself a spiritual entrepreneur or an entrepreneur in general, but this is really a message for everyone. So you don't have to be an entrepreneur necessarily to have this message apply to you. Just take whatever resonates and relate it to your specific life and situation and experiences, okay? So I really hope that this helps you. So let's get into this video, okay? One of the biggest culprits for the lack of success in many entrepreneurs is that they don't really believe in their ability to succeed, okay? I've been speaking to people the last few months, and for many of the people that I've been speaking to, self-belief has been a real thing that has been holding them back from their success. And I totally get that as well, because in my own journey with my own challenges with self-belief, I really recognized for myself that self-belief was a missing piece to everything. And once I finally got that more in place, things really started shifting for me. Things really started taking off because self-belief is really that important to your success. Whatever you want to create in your life or your business, you really have to have a high level of self-belief in your capacity to be able to do that, to bring it about. Now, for entrepreneurs specifically, they can have all the systems in place. They can have so much valuable content to share, all the knowledge and wisdom on a particular subject or field that they are experts in, or that they can support other people in. But if they don't really believe in themselves, then they're going to hold themselves back from success again and again. Everything could be lined up and perfect and ready to go. But if that little part of the puzzle or the whole thing, I don't know, the key, I don't know how to say it, but if that part is missing, then that is going to dramatically affect their results, okay? So there are many different stages of self-belief that we all need to work up to, and we just have to keep going to higher and higher levels when it comes to our self-belief. Now, the higher your self-belief is, the greater your manifestations will be, the more miraculous and just unexpected that they will be, okay? They'll just show up unexpectedly. They'll feel miraculous to you in the way in which they show up or what shows up, all because of your self-belief, okay? The more that you have self-belief, the more extraordinary you will be able to create your reality and to create things in your life, okay? So this is how you get to experience more miracles in terms of your manifestations or the creation of your life, is by having these higher levels of self-belief. Now, traditionally, when we talk about self-belief, a lot of times we really think about, in one individual's capacity to be able to bring about something, to create something, their belief in them being able to succeed with X, Y, and Z, and to do that, to accomplish that, to achieve that. So that's the traditional kind of definition or perception, I guess, of self-belief. However, for this video, what my guides really wanted me to speak on today is not just belief of yourself and your capacity to do things or to create things or achieve them or manifest them, but it's really taking that definition of your own capacity to do things while also further expanding upon that and adding the spiritual component to that. So when they're talking about self-belief in this sense for this video today, my guides want me to share with you guys it's belief in your spiritual self, belief in your higher self, belief in who you truly are. When you really have that higher level of self-belief and you believe in the divinity that resides within you, that's when you really become unstoppable. That's when you're really able to create these absolute magic and miracles in your life, because you're believing in your true divine power and nature to bring that about. You're really being able to then tap into the power of the cosmos, the universe, to create these absolute miracles. Because when you just have that first level of self-belief that most humans have, you're just believing in yourself, the human to be able to create things, to do things, to take action on things, to make it happen, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. As they said, there are different levels to self-belief that we have to work towards, and we are always trying to go to higher and higher levels, because the higher our level of self-belief is, the greater the rewards are, the more magical our lives become, because we're able to really do these crazy things in our lives. We're able to bring it about with this higher level of self-belief that anything is possible for us, and that we have access to what we desire, and the universe is supporting us. Those things will come into fruition. So when you have, that first level of self-belief in you, the human, that's good. But then it's really important to work yourself up to that level of self-belief that you need in your spiritual self, what is often known as your higher self. Your inner being, your divine being, whatever you want to call that spiritual aspect of you. When you have that level of self-belief in that version of you, that's when you can really make that magic happen. Okay, and that's what they really wanted to address in this video today, because we are going through this ascension process. We are coming back to the truth of who we are, our spiritual selves. And as we come back to this truth, it's really important for us to connect to this version of ourselves on a much deeper level, so that we can be more powerful creators of our realities and have even more amazing lives. Okay. So when you believe in the spiritual aspect of you, okay, that's when you can do the extraordinary. And oftentimes that's what a lot of people have trouble with. They have trouble with believing in miracles and believing in the extraordinary happening for them on a regular basis, because they don't have this level of self-belief in this spiritual version of themselves. They don't have that connection. And so that is why, when you are able to achieve that level of self-belief with the spiritual aspect of you, and you're tapped into your divine power, that's when you can then do what is known as collapsing timelines. Basically means you make things happen so much faster. So they don't have to take years to happen. They happen in a much shorter time, because you're collapsing the timelines. So you're able to make those miracles or those manifestations happen so much more quickly or unexpectedly, only when you're really tapped into believing in the spiritual aspect of you. So you're able to then collapse those timelines, quantumly leap yourself forward into versions of reality where you have more of the things that you desire, the miracles, the dreams, those things are manifested. But this only is able to really happen when you're tapped into your divinity, when you're tapped into your true divine power to create that. Okay. And when you're tapped into your true divine self, and you really believe in this version of you, you really believe that you are a divine being, that you can create whatever you desire, and you're supported in this. That's also when you are able to then more effortlessly connect with or show up in different synchronicity type of things. So that's when synchronicity happens for you a lot. You will just somehow synchronistically line up with one thing, and then another, and an opportunity, and a person, or whatever, and things just seem to flow for you, because you're really tapped into the power of who you are. You're tapped into your true divine magic. And so it all just starts really being manifested for you very, very quickly. Okay. So again, this is only really possible when we're tapped into who we truly are. And when we really believe in this version of ourselves, when we really believe that that is who we really are, and that because that is who we really are, we can make this magic happen, So when you really possess that level of self-belief to create these things, you're also able to then receive them, okay? You're able to then just allow for them to enter your life. And I did a video teaching this past week in my Facebook community. I have a Facebook community, and I did a video on the impact of getting what you desire, because I don't think that we really recognize how impactful it is for us to be able to receive our desires, what a big difference it makes, not just to ourselves, but to our own lives, but to people around us and the world. And that's what that video was on. So if that topic interests you, I highly recommend that you come and join me in my Facebook community, where I also do free teachings on Wednesdays. I will be uploading that video to YouTube. I will probably have to redo it, actually, because the energy was so super intense this past week with everything that's happening right now with Black Lives Matter, that I had some issues with the Wi-Fi as I was doing that video. So I'll probably have to re-record it and upload it here. But subscribe to this channel, join me in my Facebook community if you want to catch more of these teachings. But yes, as I was saying, when you're really tapped into who you truly are, you really believe in this version of yourself, you allow yourself to receive. You allow these things to just show up as if by magic, and you allow yourself to actually receive them because you're connected to your true divinity. And so you feel worthy of receiving these things, and you allow yourself to have them show up and be a part of your reality. Okay. So this is, how you're able to then be able to make your dreams come true when you're really tapped into who you truly are, and you really believe in this spiritual version of yourself and their power. You're really exercising the divine power that you have to be a great creator of your reality. Now, there is a Bible quote that I was asked to share with you guys. I don't know much about the Bible, but as I was channeling this, the message that I got was, it's like the Bible quote or the part where God says, like, let there be light. And then all of a sudden there was light out of nowhere, and it just happened instantaneously. And, for people in science, we're not debating whether this is true or not. We're just going with the Bible quote. And so, that's that God force power, though, that God, the universe, source, Allah, whatever you call the higher power, is so powerful that it's able to create things instantaneously. It's like whatever you desire, boom, you create it and it's done. It's there, right? So God said, let there be light, and boom, all of a sudden there was light, and there was all these other things that God decided to create. So that's the same thing as when we are tapped into our divinity, when we're really this version of ourselves, and we believe that. We really believe in ourselves, in the spiritual version of ourselves. That's when we become these powerful creators, and we're able to wield that divine power as well. We're able to say, okay, I want to make my dreams come true. I want to make my dream life happen, my dream business, my dream impact with my business, whatever it is. And you're able to really do that more effectively. Okay, it's probably not going to happen instantaneously right now, because we're still, as human beings, practicing developing those big, amazing psychic powers, or those supernatural powers. But it's going to happen so much more quickly than you anticipated. It's going to happen in the craziest ways. And that's really what it's all about. So rather than thinking that your dream life or your dreams have to take 10 years to happen, when you really are tuned into this, it could happen in as little as 3 years. You could be where you thought you were going to be in 10 years. You could be there in just 3 or 2 or however fast. There are tons of people that I know that they blow up overnight. So those kinds of things are able to happen because we're tapped into our true divine power. Okay. So your manifestations just come much more easily. Now, as I've been saying, in order for you to really tap into this divine power that you hold within, you must first really be connected to who you truly are. You must really first connect to your divine spiritual self. And as I say in plenty of my other videos, this goes just beyond connecting to the intellectual concept that you have a spiritual version of yourself. It's not just about believing that you have a higher self, or that you come from spirit, or whatever this, is for you. It's not just about believing that on a conscious level, on an intellectual level. It's really about embodying it. It's really about raising your consciousness to be this version of you, to live your life from this space, to really be connected to the ease and the power that comes with being this version of you. And how you know whether or not you're really connected to this power is by observing yourself for the day. You could easily just observe yourself for the day or for the week and notice, where you're giving your power away, where you're allowing things to constantly trigger you, where you're allowing things to constantly put you in fear and in powerlessness and all these different things. And if you notice that happens a lot, hopelessness and fear of the future and insecurities and all these different things, if you notice that happens a lot for you, then you're not really connecting to the power of who you truly are in that moment. If you're lacking that self-belief that you need to succeed with the things that you're doing, you're not really connected to your true power, right? And it's okay, because this life is really just about us coming back to the truth of who we are, reconnecting with that power and getting better and better and better at it. Today, more often than not, I am connected to more of who I truly am, but I still have my moments where I go back to my humanness, and I go back into the fear, and I'm like, oh, and the insecurity and the doubt and the worry. And then I have to shift out of that and come back to my true power, remember who I really am. And then handle those things from that space, show up from that space, because that's really what it's all about. So you must release all the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, etc., to the best of your ability, again and again and again as you go on your journey to more easily tap into who you truly are, your divine power, your higher self, your spiritual truth, to really be able to become that version of yourself. You must practice actively letting these things go and return back to your truth. Now, when you don't do this, when you allow yourself to remain with the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, the low vibrational things, or the scarcity, fear-based driven things, when you allow yourself to hold on to those things, then it really keeps you from really being able to access the level of self-belief that you need in order to manifest your dreams and desires, because you're still so connected to the ego and you're allowing ego to drive you. And ego can't create these magical manifestations and make these amazing things happen. Ego doesn't do that. Only the divine spiritual version of yourself is able to do that. But you cannot wield the power of this divine spiritual version of yourself if more often than not, you're more so coming from ego as opposed to the spiritual version of you. Okay? Let me know if this makes sense in the comments. So, in order for you to really manifest your dreams and your desires, it's really important for you to connect back to the truth of who you are again and again by releasing all of these low vibrational things. And as you connect back to the truth of who you are, your higher self, that's where you're able to maintain your inner peace more often than not. That's when you're able to maintain that greater sense of knowing and power that you can do whatever you desire, that it's all possible for you. And that's when you really are able to relax and allow the universe to support you in manifesting your dreams or making your dreams come true. Because you're not just trying to do it as you, the human, and trying to make it happen. You're really leaning into and tapping into the power of the universe to assist you with creating these things. And that's how it gets to work out for you, okay? Because you're not doing it alone. So again, as I said, ego will try to put you back in lack, worry, doubt, fear, panicking. It'll try to convince you that things can't happen, that it's too late for them to happen, that if it hasn't shown up yet, then it's not going to happen, that it's impossible for you given your circumstances, that it's not safe to do things, or to move forward, whatever it is. Ego will try to convince you of that stuff. And when you see that or you notice that showing up for you, that's when you have to recognize that you're not really in the power of who you truly are. You're not really being that spiritual version of yourself. You're allowing ego to drive the car there or to lead you. And that's when you need to step into your power to shift out of that, do something about those things that are showing up for you, to come back to the truth of who you are so you can more easily allow yourself to move forward down the path of manifesting your desires. Okay? Because again, the way to manifest those amazing things, the way to make your dreams come true is when you're really connected to the truth of who you are, when you're really connected to your higher self, the spiritual divine version of you. That is when you can make those miracles happen. Okay? So I really hope that this has helped you today. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. I would really love to hear your thoughts on this. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, a like wherever you're watching from, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already to receive more of these messages, these teachings that I bring forward every Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. As I said, you can also join me in my Facebook community. I do have a very loving and supportive, highly engaged Facebook community that I would love for you to be a part of if you feel called to be a part of just a loving space. It's really one of the best places online on Facebook, and I'm really manifesting moving forward. I wrote it down last night. Like my space is going to be the best spiritual place online where there's only love. And so, yeah, I love it. So if you want to come and join us there, check out the links in the description of this video to follow me on all my social medias and to join my Facebook community. And if you would like to be supported in coming back to the truth of who you really are, if you would like to begin the process of undoing the many layers of your ego and just letting go of that false sense of self and learning what it really means to be who you are and to lean into that power, lean into that truth, to have a deeper connection to spirit, and to come from this greater space of love and connectedness to all that is, then I would really love to have you come and join me in remembering who you are. It's my 8-week program, although I think I might modify it and make it 10 weeks. I don't know. I'm currently speaking to my guides about this because given everything that's happening in the world right now with the George Floyd situation, I've been really asked to go within and contemplate and reflect and see how this is going to influence the messages and the information I bring forward, moving forward. But for the moment, for those of you who are curious, it's a powerful, 8-week program that really just helps you to do very deep levels of healing in order to release a lot of things that are holding you back from really making your dreams come true, creating your dream life, creating what you want to see in your finances, in your business, in your relationships, in your health, in your spirituality, whatever it is. We address different areas of life. You usually pick 2 to 3 to work on during the program. And it really helps you to do very deep levels of healing around that to help you come back to your truth, to release what is weighing you down and start embodying your power, to really see how truly you're influencing your reality all the time and what needs to shift inside of yourself to create more of what you want in the external world, because everything really is a reflection of you. And so as you heal inside of yourself, you're able to create more of what you want in life. So that has been the focus of the program in the past. I think this time around it's going to shift a little bit. I always do what I'm guided to for my highest good and the highest good of all that I work with. So, but that is essentially still what's going to be taught in the program. So if that interests you, be sure to look out for that. You can message me on social media to ask me more about that. And yeah, just follow me on social medias to hear more information about that once I really start promoting that full force. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really hope that this has helped you. Would really love to hear from you in the comments below. And feel free to check out any playlists on my channel that might interest you. I have a playlist on awakening, on the ascension process, one on making an impact as a spiritual entrepreneur, and connecting to your higher self, and a bunch of other things. And you can also still check out my June energy reading, which I did for this month. So check that out to know what to expect from June. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.